I was recently gifted this heat press machine by HTVRont, and I need to just give you the backstory about it because it just felt like such divine timing. So I've been making tote bags with an iron and it works. It's great. I didn't have to buy anything new. And it's a great way to start to just to test proof of concept. But it was so much work and it wasn't very consistent. It was quite difficult to use because I think I was doing it on a really hot day, but it was just so hot to use the iron. I was sweating, it was uncomfortable, I had to press down so hard, and yes, it worked. It worked fine, but I had told myself that if I wanted to keep making tote bags in the future, I would have to be a little bit more efficient about it because I wanted to be able to control the quality a little bit better. With an iron, it's not quite even pressure. Like again, it totally works, but I had said to myself at the time of making the tote bags that I wasn't going to do this anymore unless I would invest in a heat press. And so began my Googling, my researching of different heat presses out there. And I was talking to Kevin, my husband, about this, and he did a bit of research as well, and he sent me a link to this machine and he said, this one looks really good, this one looks awesome, it's automatic and it's really aesthetic as well, and it's not too expensive. And so I liked the idea, but I wasn't going to jump on that straight away. And then out of the blue, I receive an email from the exact company that Kevin had sent me. And so it worked out so perfectly because this was the exact machine that I had wanted to do my tote bags if I wanted to continue it. I don't plan on making that many tote bags, because as much as I am a tote bag collector and hoarder maybe, there's only so many tote bags I can own. And I feel like if I make too many, I'm still definitely going to try to make new designs in the future, but I'm not focusing on it as much as sticker designs, for example. But I love it when Kevin and I can share machines in the studio. So he has his own creative business projects going on as well. And he's always played around with the idea of maybe making t-shirts or merch, and this heat press just really unlocks so much more opportunities, like different creative projects we can try. I only did heat transfer vinyl this time in the one color because it was the only thing that really worked with an iron. And I wanted to get direct transfer film, DTF, I think that's what it stands for, but that only is meant to work with a heat press, recommended to because of the even pressure. And so that was another reason why I really wanted to try a heat press, because then I could do colored designs and just way more different designs and colors than just the single, black text. And so I just want to say thank you so much to HTVRont. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but thank you for sending me this wonderful machine, because again, it's the exact machine I had been planning on purchasing. So I am very comfortable showing this in my studio vlogs because I would have done so anyway. Another reason why I'm not too keen on stocking so many tote bags as well and would prefer to move to DTF is because the weeding takes so long. Yes, it is satisfying and it is fun, but it is extremely tedious and time consuming. I'm trying to, be a little bit more efficient in my business with where I spend my time, and this isn't the ultimate priority for me, but I'm very happy I was still able to add tote bags to the store. So as with all machines, I had a little bit of trouble figuring out the correct temperature and time settings, like how long it should be pressed down for. Again, when I was doing it with the iron, it was kind of just trial and error. I had it on the cotton setting. I held it down for about 5 seconds. But with the heat press, it would be a little bit different. And the problem is the vinyl that I'm using does have a recommended temperature setting, but because of the bag material that I'm using, like it's quite thick cotton, very sturdy cotton. So I still have to, figure it out. But this, again, happens with all machines. It happens with printers, trying to figure out the color settings and the presets. It happens with the Cameo, figuring out the blade settings. Like, it's one of the worst things about getting a new machine, but once you figure it out, it should be smooth sailing from there. So I don't quite have the settings right for the thick cotton bag. So the problem is I tried too many different things that, I changed the variables way too many times. What I'm suspecting is that the plastic covering and then the sheet on top blocks a little bit of the heat. And what I found was that when enough of the vinyl had transferred, even though it hadn't stuck down properly, when I peeled off the clear backing carefully and then put it back under with the sheet, that's when it really stuck down properly. So I will have to try that again and figure out the correct technique for the bags. But I did try it with a thinner tote bag material, and I didn't want to use an existing design just to make it harder for myself. So I took one of the earlier designs that I had planned to make for the tote bag, but I ended up benching because I wasn't sure if it was too specific of a design to launch with. I wanted something a little bit more generic. But because these illustrations were done in Procreate with a sketchy pencil looking brush, I had to convert it to vector. I traced it around on my computer so that I could easily cut this out in silhouette on the heat transfer vinyl. So that's what I did. I just made it harder for myself, but I really wanted to try new designs so that I would have a different tote bag to use. And this material is a lot thinner. So where I messed up was, I saw that in some of their reels on their Instagram page. They have so many examples that you can look at as well. They just put the fabric with the plastic covering directly underneath. And so I was curious if I didn't need the ironing heat protective sheet on top, and that's what I tried. And it did work, but again, I changed too many factors at once. So I do not recommend doing this unless you have something slightly thicker. Again, maybe it worked if I did a lower temperature. I just did too many different things. But what I would recommend for the thinner bags is to use the protective sheet, because I did burn my bag. There was actually no problem at all with the vinyl. The vinyl worked perfectly, but because I just kept putting it under the heat press, the bag is what ended up burning. So that usually is a sign your temperature is too high. So I'm going to keep experimenting with this, but once I figure out the correct temperature settings and the correct time settings, it's going to be so easy to use. So yeah, overall, I am really happy with this machine. It looks so aesthetic, which I'm really happy about, because there are other heat presses that just aren't as nice, aren't as pretty to use. The fact that it's automatic is amazing. The settings, everything. It's just so easy to use. Kevin already has some plans to use the heat press to make his own custom business jacket and to put his branding on a camera strap as well. So I will probably show that in a future video when he does that. Thank you again so much to HTVRont for gifting me this machine. And that's all I really wanted to say about this. But if you have any questions with, heat transfer vinyl and using the heat press, making your own tote bags and all that, I do try to show my process. But if you do have any questions, let me know and I will try to help. It's a fairly simple process. Anyway, that's all for me. I'm just rambling, but I hope you found these clips interesting and I hope it inspires you to maybe try some heat transfer vinyl projects. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!